Welcome back. It's winter. I'm just kidding, it's summer, but I live in Victoria and this is what we have to fucking deal with. And look, bitch. Fine then, whatever, I'll just look down like a douche. Hi, welcome back. We've made it through. We are in January of 2019 and it has been a year since starting the Barefoot Investor journey and lifestyle. So, 12-month review. What do I thought of it? Would I do it again? Probably not. Obviously I'm kidding, and of course I would. If you've watched my previous videos, you pretty much know that I think it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. Again, if you have watched my videos, you know that I've adapted it and I've changed it to suit us and to suit our lifestyle, but really the whole reason that I'm here and that I'm in the position financially and mentally that I am today is because in January of 2018, I read a book called The Barefoot Investor. If you haven't, you need to read it. Has anybody read the 2018 updated version? Because I've got the 2017 version, so I'd like to know if there's any changes. Well, obviously there's changes because he's updated it, but what the changes are. Let me know if you have in fact read the 2018 one. I also want to hear from you if you've read the Families book that he's released, because I haven't, due to the fact that I do not have children and am strongly against ever having children. So, don't know if it's worth me reading it for that reason. But if you have read it, can you let me know? Because if there's even just a couple of things that I might take away from it, I want to read it, because why not? So if it's not just strictly talking about children and money and raising children, let me know, because there was a whole chapter of that in this book that I completely skipped because I'm like, that does not apply to me. I have dogs and I have an account for the dogs. That's all I need to know about dogs. This time last year, honest to God, in the December to January break that we have for work, I remember distinctly that Laurie and I had like $10 or something ridiculous like that in our account. That was all we had to get us through to our next payday. We did have a separate savings account, but we didn't dip into that. There wasn't very much in it, maybe $1,000 if that. So literally that's all we had to our name. This year we have got just money everywhere. Like I can't ever get over how it's like he increases your pay, which obviously he doesn't. By he, I'm referring to old mate Scott here. It never ceases to amaze me how just following someone's advice financially and setting up your accounts in a specific way can make you feel like you are earning 10 times the amount of money that you were previously earning. Like, you just get so much bang for your buck. Obviously there's that. This time last year we had nothing. We were struggling. We were payday to payday, just stressed all the time. You know, it would cause tension between us because we were stressed about our finances, so we'd be snippy and snarly because we were stressed. It's like we're just in an incredible place now because of one book. I'm really itchy. Woof, woof, woof. Okay, my parents are here, I'm gonna have to stop. So we now have no credit cards and no debt apart from our home loan. We are significantly building up our Mojo account so that we will have that peace of mind and that financial weight off our shoulders. But to be honest, like, we haven't actually needed a Mojo because of we've used our fire extinguisher to back us up, which I know you're not supposed to, but whatever, that's fine. Anyway, I will talk more about what we've done that you weren't supposed to do in a separate video called Barefoot Confessions, coming soon. We had an incident on Christmas Eve when our poor little baby Leo basically did the human equivalent of rupturing his ACL. Leo, come here, babe. Not a chance. Fuck you, mum, I'm comfy. Apparently it's very common in small dogs. We had never heard about it in our entire bloody lives until about July when my mum and dad's dog Milo did it. And no offense to Milo, and he is in the room right now. No offense, buddy. Milo is not the most athletic dog. He's definitely not one to exert himself. So when he did himself an injury in such a way, we didn't expect it, but we just weren't overly surprised. Why? Whereas Leo is extremely athletic and attitudey and rumbly and like always go, running around like a crazy unit all the time. He's also significantly younger than Milo, so obviously that has a bit of an impact. But poor little chap, I'd given him a wash, given him a bath, him and Ella, so they were doing the whole zoomy, rumbly thing after the bath, which is very normal for them when they're wet or dry, running around like dickheads, growling at each other, and I just hear this yelp! Again, normal, because that's what they do, that's how they play. He comes in limping, and I'm like, shit. Because we'd obviously just been through it with Milo, I had a fair indication of what may have happened. I hoped not, but he's also an incredibly strong, tough, stoic dog. I know, I'm talking about a dog, but if you've got pets, you understand me. They have personalities, all right? I'm on the phone to the vet going, look, my dog's limping. He's not putting any weight on his foot. She's like, when did it happen? I'm like 10 minutes ago. And she goes, you want to give it like an hour and call me back? I'm like, no, I know my dog. He's not a dramatic dog. Something's wrong. And she's like, okay, bitch, bring him in. Like, she's got me one of these assholes. $400 for an x-ray later because they have to sedate the dog to x-ray their leg. And now poor little Leo baby has now had to have surgery to have an implanted ligament, I don't know, into his leg, and won't be able to walk or like move, or will have to be contained to a very small space for 6 weeks. So that is $1,800 for that surgery. If that had have happened 12 months ago, we would have been fucked. But honestly, would have been utterly screwed. If it had to happen, it's very helpful that it has happened now. Leo and Ella's account only had about $300 in it, and that is money that we put away specifically for like their registration and their needles, and we were hoping that it would eventually hoping that it would eventually build up enough to be like a buffer, like health insurance for a pet, because we didn't want to buy pet insurance, because the same reason we don't have human health insurance, I just don't think it covers enough. And I think you're paying all this money to them that you could be putting into a separate account, saving for the things that you hope never happen anyway. When Laurie and I had health insurance, I had to have surgery. It didn't cover my surgery, so then I ended up going public, and then Laurie had to have several different scans done, and it didn't cover any of his scans either. So I'm like, why are we paying this money? So we just started putting money aside instead. Obviously $400, didn't want to spend that on an x-ray because that would have cleaned their account out completely, and we still want to have that, you know, in there for long term and whatever. So this money, we used fire extinguisher obviously to pay for the x-ray, and now we are using our fire extinguisher to pay for his surgery. Also, Mum and Dad, who are also on the Barefoot train, used fire extinguisher to pay for poor little Milo's surgery back last year when he had it too. We're just so lucky that we have all these things in place and that we now have that there. You'd spend whatever you could on your dogs to keep them safe and happy and healthy, because they're a part of your family and you love them. That's an example of something that 12 months ago before Barefoot, we would not have been able to afford to do. I don't know what we would have done. That's something that I'm really grateful for right now. We had a holiday this year, which we had been long overdue in need of. So we had a lovely 2 weeks away. We've had a lot of just nights away, which we love. We've gone to lots of concerts that we really wanted to go to, and after going to a lot of concerts, I can now say that that is what I want to put my money into. Like, I just think the experience that you get is so much more valuable to me. If I had the option to like buy new clothes or to go to a concert, I know what I'd be doing in the future. We've upgraded things in our house that needed to be upgraded. So that's been exciting. We have new telly and new couch and things like that. We've also almost finished landscaping our backyard, finally, after 3 years in this house. Landscaping, it's interesting because sometimes I've thought I really wish we had just gotten that done when we built the house, but at the same time we have changed our mind so many times on what we wanted to do for the landscaping. So I like that we've taken our time and we've done it bit by bit, and we've also done a lot of it ourselves, which is very accomplishing. It's definitely been 12 months of learning and working out where we've gone wrong, what works best for us. Obviously, you know that I've expanded it and I've got several different accounts because I needed to visually see everything and I didn't want us to be overspending. I've had a lot of comments about that, and at this stage in our journey, because we're still learning, we're still making mistakes, and we're still growing from those mistakes, and we're still nutting everything out and working out, oh crap, there's another expense we haven't accounted for. So while we're at that stage of our financial journey, I need it to be the way it is. I need to have all of those accounts, and I need to see exactly where everything is going and what we have in which account, and that's just what I need right now. That's just the easiest way that I can simplify it for me to make us the best that we can be with our finances. I have a girlfriend that I work with, Beck, who I'm going to ask her if I can interview her and do a whole video on her perspective, because she has worked in the big banks for like 5 or 6 years, so she's got that much banking experience under her belt. She doesn't agree with the Barefoot Investor and the structure and everything like that. She definitely doesn't agree with the way I've gone one step further. It boiled down to, she thinks it's stupid to have so many accounts because you're not getting the benefit of interest. You would be getting more if you had all that money in the one account in a higher interest account. Then I had another gentleman comment on one of my videos saying that if I had, instead of having all those loose amounts of money in these separate accounts, not getting as much interest, I could be getting a higher percent of interest, and I could also be putting it all in an offset account for my mortgage. It's not that I don't understand those comments, because I completely understand. I even agree with those comments, that I know that I'm not getting the most out of my interest, and that I could be getting benefit of like the offset account and getting, you know, a reduced interest rate on my mortgage by doing it that way. I do understand that, and that is perhaps something that I will look at doing in the future. But just for now, I need it to be the way that it is. So a way that I thought that I could potentially do it in the future is to do exactly that, is to put it in an offset account, but to maybe keep a spreadsheet or like an exercise book of what amount is going in there and what it's for, so that then I've still got that visual, oh, okay, we've got $400 in health in that account. So that's all that we're allowed to spend, and keep like an in and out sort of a statement, if you will. Do it that way. Once it gets a bit easier and everything like that, I think while I'm still learning, I need to have it the way that I do. One of the interesting things that I didn't expect to learn from doing the Barefoot is it's really taught me a lot about myself and my spending. So we all know I've got caught out with Afterpay, which again, I'm going to address that more in my Barefoot Confessions video that's coming soon. But the thing that it's really taught me to look at why and when I'm spending. So I've really worked on learning my triggers and getting rid of like certain apps on my phone, like where there's ads, or like, you know, getting rid of eBay, catch of the day. I just don't need that temptation sitting there. If I was down and depressed, or I felt crappy in myself and my self-confidence was low, that's when I spend, because it makes me feel good and I get a high from buying things, and I feel good because I'm wearing a new jumper and I feel really good in this new jumper. So like, you get that short-term happiness, but in the long term, I was just doing myself out of money and getting myself into debt with Afterpay and things like that. So I've really learned that valuable lesson about myself. One of the best things by far that I've gotten out of this barefoot thing, especially doing my barefoot videos, is connecting with all of you. It's just been so cool to hear everybody's journeys and their you know, questions or advice and support. The amount of support that you guys have given me on my videos is insane. I love it, and it's just thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being that way and for being such a cool supportive community in the comment section where we can have these discussions and we can help each other out, and everyone wants to see everybody else succeeding. So that's really cool, and I'm really grateful for that coming into my life, because it wasn't something that I set out to do. If you've seen my very first ever barefoot video, I literally made it for my mum and dad to watch, and I thought, oh, I'll put it on YouTube because it's the easiest way for me to send them the link, because it's a really long video. So that's how that happened, and it just kind of took off. And then I thought, oh well, I'll do an update, and here we are 12 months later. So thank you all for watching, and if you've subscribed, thank you for subscribing. If you've commented, thank you for interacting with me and for interacting with our little community that we've got going on here. I really look forward to this next 12 months. I feel super motivated. I just feel like I've learned a lot of where I went wrong lessons from last year. I wouldn't probably change them because I think they were needed. Just, yeah, I'm really excited for 2019 and for the next 12 months of Barefoot. I'll do like maybe an 18-month check-in, let you know how we're going. And if anything changes, I'll let you know, but I think we're pretty happy with how everything's set up at the moment. It's really just on autopilot, as he says in the book. It's just working for us. We're just, yeah, keen to save, and just become even better and become so much closer to owning our own home and having that really healthy mojo account. So yes, thank you for watching. Leave me a comment, and good luck if you've started your barefoot journey. Tell me how far along you are. If you're about to start, best of luck to you. I can't wait to hear how you go. Talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye.